Okay, join me as I make this simple network. What I want to do is to configure um, console, telnet, and enable password on the router, and I'll show you how this is done. It's going to be a very short video. I'm not going to take most of your time, and after this, you'll be able to do this on your own. It's very easy. Okay, it's a very easy thing to do. So this is, I won't need 3 devices. I'll connect them since these are different devices. I'm going to use a straight through cable. Okay, straight through cable. Okay, I'm not going to talk much on, but from here you could tell that this port, the port for the router is down. Okay, so I need to turn it on. Okay, and so that there will be that communication between the router and the switch. So first of all, I'm going to assign the IP address on this port, which is gig 0/0. Okay, uh, 0/0. So I'll go into the command line of the router. I'll type no here so that I go direct into what I want to do. So I'll type enable, takes me to the privilege mode. I'll type config t, takes me to the configuration mode, and this is before you go any further, this is the Cisco packet tracer that I'm using. Okay, and the devices that I'm connected of configuring are all Cisco devices. Okay, so the first thing I'll start to configure is the line console. How do we configure line console? So you type line console and I'll put 0 there. Okay, then the second command to type will be the password, the word password, then space. I'll put the password that I want. So I'll just put pass, or I just put Cisco or small letters at 1 2 3. Okay, then I'll type login. Okay, so that's the first command, and that command is for the console. Okay, so that's how we configure. Okay, for the console, we first type line console 0, then you click enter. The next password, you type password, the word, then space, then the password that you want to put. Then the next line you type login. Okay, so we have configured the line console. We are going to do try to access these and see if it will request us to put the password. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, I will exit this mode. Okay, so it takes me to configuration mode, and now I want to configure the telnet. So if you're configuring the telnet, the command that we enter is line vty, okay, 0 15. or 0, whichever number. So now I'll use, for me, I'll use 0, 15, 0 space 15. Then I'll enter. I'll type password. Okay, password. So I'll put this, the password I want. So I'll put Cisco, the one I used for the console, so that we don't mix up. At 1, 2, 3 again. Then I can also type login again here. So I've done line console, line VTM. So line VTM, which is a telnet. If you're configuring the telnet, you type the first line, you type line VTY. Okay, then 0 space 0, 15. Then the second line, after you type that one, you enter the second line, you type password, the word password, then put the password. Then at the end of, when you are done with the password, you enter, then you go to login, you type login. Okay, so the last password that I want to configure is the enable password, which is at the privilege mode. Okay, so I'll type, for this one, you type enable password in the same line, enable password, then you put the password that you want to put. In this case, we are putting Cisco again. Cisco at 1, 2, 3. So I've configured that in the router. Okay, so let's try now. Okay, let's try. I'll type exit. Okay, again exit. See, so this is the user access verification. That's where the console, line console, is configured. So I can't even go to this, the first mode, which is the user execution mode. I can't go that far. So since I've configured the line console, it will require that I put the password. So the password, if you remember very well, was Cisco at 1, 2, 3. Okay, I've taken time, so it has even timed out. So let me put Cisco at 1, 2, 3. I enter. Okay, this is the first mode. Okay, so this is for the line console. Okay, so now I want to go to the next mode, which is the privilege mode. I'll put en. Remember, we had to set up the password for that. Okay, which by that command, the command that we used, the enable password, that was for the privileged mode. So if I type en is enable. So I don't want to finish, I can type en so that I go to the next mode. Okay, it is also requiring us to enter the password. The password that we created was that at 1, 2, 3. Okay, it has gone through. Okay, good. So those are the password that we configured on the router. Now the next thing that we need to try is the telnet. Okay, so telnet helps us to configure a machine or a router or a switch from a remote access. Okay, we can access this remotely by telnetting into the router and do everything as if we are sitting um, physically on the router and doing everything. But meanwhile, we can configure it from afar. Okay, which is a remote access. So for me to do that, I have to configure the IP addresses. Okay, IP addresses. So I'm going to configure the IP address on this port on the router. And what is this port? This is gig 0/0. Okay, so I'll type int, which is interface. Which interface are we configuring? It's G 0/0. Okay, so you can even see that it is here the mode has changed to config if, which wherever you see this, you should know that you are in the interface. Okay, so I want to configure the IP address by typing IP address, then the IP address, which is 92. I'll just take anything, 168.1.1 space 255.2 255.255.0. That one. This interface is down, so we need to turn it on. Okay, so we turn that interface on by typing no shut. Okay, no shut or no shutdown. Now I'll just type no shut. That's just a shortcut, and this interface will be up. Even the message here will tell you that line protocol on the interface is changed to up. And if you check from here, you see that it's in green now. Okay, so the next thing is to configure the IP address, or to assign the IP address to this machine. Okay, so click on it. Now click on desktop, go to IP configuration and static. So this IP address should be in the same range or same subnet with the IP address that we assigned in this interface on the router. So it should be 192.168.1. Okay, 2. Okay, that was 1. Now I will give this one 2. Okay, 255, just like that. Then the default gateway is the IP address that we assigned on this interface on the router. 1.1. This is the interface that we assigned there. Yeah, I can put anything. 4.4.4.4 or 8.8.8. Okay, so like that. So I want to see if there is that communication between the router and the PC. So I'll ping. How do I ping? Come here, command. See, let me ping that. The IP address for the router is this, that interface, which is directly connected to this switch. Okay, so this port is directly connected to this switch, which means it's directly connected to this LAN. Okay, which is 1. So if I do that, see it's going through. It's going through, meaning there is that communication. So now I want to telnet. Okay, I'm not physically on the router. I've not connected the console there. So I want to telnet using this. Um, I've not connected the console there, but I want to telnet. Okay, so there is no direct connection between this router and the machine. So since we configured the telnet, I want to do it from here, away from the router. Okay, let me do that. Okay, so what should we do? Can use terminal, and let me do this. Okay, terminal, then telnet 192.168.1.1. And let me use the this one, telnet 192.168.1.1. Okay, so it has opened. Okay, so if you have not configured that, if you have not configured VTY or telnet in the router, it won't open. It won't even give you an option to put the password. Okay, so which password did we put there? It was the same one, which is Cisco at 123. We are into the router. The first interface is that one. So we are not direct connected to the router, but we are able to access. Okay, we are able to access that router. So I can even do that. It has given me a password for that. I can put Cisco until I reach. Yeah, so I've already done that. So I've done 3 configurations: the enable, which is the privilege, user privilege, which is the privilege mode, enable password. Then I've done a console,